Hi, my name is Min Hong, and I am a co-chair for GenRx, which is an initiative of our APHA ASP chapter here at the university. One of the main goals of our initiative is to raise awareness about prescription drug abuse, and so I'm here today to dispel some myths that are commonly found about prescription drugs. So we'll start off with myth number one. Myth number one. Abusing prescription drugs is a legal alternative to using street drugs. This is actually false because it's actually a federal offense to have prescription drugs in your possession that aren't prescribed to you. So if you have somebody else's Xanax or Valium or Adderall, Oxycontin, anything like that, it's actually a federal offense and you can face some pretty hefty fines for that. Myth number two. Abusing prescription drugs is a safe alternative to using street drugs. This is actually also false because unintentional drug poisonings are actually the second leading cause of death in America today, and 90% of those accidental deaths are caused by prescription drugs. Myth number three, prescription drugs like Oxycontin or Vicodin are non-addictive. This is actually false as well because drug treatment admissions for addictions to pain medications have increased by 300%. From 1995 to 2005. Our fourth and final myth. Since they are prescribed by a doctor, prescription drugs can only be helpful. This is also false because any drug has the potential to cause harm, especially when used without medical supervision. So if you have anybody's medication with you and you're not being supervised by a doctor, then potentially harmful things could happen to you. For those of you who have taken a chemistry course, or even those of you who haven't, just take a look at these chemical structures. You can see here that Oxycontin actually has a very similar structure to heroin, and Valium has a very similar structure to roofies. So this just goes to show you that even though they're medications that are prescribed to you by a doctor, they can still be potentially harmful to you. So by now you're probably wondering, wow, prescription drugs are really harmful, so why do we prescribe them? Why do doctors prescribe them? Well, prescription drugs are actually very helpful and very therapeutic if used improperly, if you're using them under medical supervision. But if you're using them for reasons that they're not used for and you're not being supervised, then that's where the danger comes from. So what can you do? What can you do to prevent this from happening to either yourself or a family member, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever? There are actually several things you can do. The first thing you can do is check the DEA's website because each year they have 2 times each year where they do drug takebacks. So any unused medications that you have around the house, you can actually bring it to them, bring it to a drug takeback site, and they'll actually dispose of it for you. So it's nice and easy, you can just drop them off, they'll take care of it. The second thing you can do is check the DEA's website or the FDA's website, and they actually have a list of drugs that they actually approve for flushing down the toilet. So obviously we would want you to take advantage of the drug take back, but if you don't have the time or something like that, you miss the dates, then there are a list of drugs that you can actually flush down the toilet. And last but not least, we don't really recommend this, but if you have to, then you can dispose of them in the trash. We recommend for pet owners, if you do have a pet, then take your drugs, put them in a Ziploc bag, and then put coffee grounds in there so that the dogs or your cats can't sniff them out. That way you can dispose of them safely. We went over a lot of info, so if you have any questions or concerns or anything of that matter, feel free to post your questions in the YouTube comments so that we can actually see them and so that we can respond to them in a timely manner. Thanks for watching.